Hello and welcome to The Buzz. We have reached the double digits of October, celebrating Columbus Day by talking about 1492 and a blue ocean, also talking about football, which is where we're going to start this week on the field for the Lose Thrifty Way Game of the Week. This week's Lose Game of the Week, Creighton, a 40-20 winner over Howells Dodge. Creighton improves to 6-0 on the year, and the Bulldogs did this by compiling all their parts together offensively, which is usually what you do to win. Reed Liska, 18 carries, 133 yards. Colton Bolter, 13 carries for 90 yards for the win, for the Bulldogs. Defensively, though, what Creighton did is they forced Howells Dodge to turn the ball over 4 times. By forcing them to turn it over 4 times, they kept Howells Dodge from actually penetrating deep into the Bulldogs' territory for touchdowns. Another thing that Howells Dodge was unable to do offensively was get Jesse Faltis going. Sure, 26 carries for 104 yards. That 4 yards per carry sounds pretty good, but Jesse Faltis averages about 212 yards per carry. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but Creighton did a good job limiting him, and that is why they are now 6-0 on the year. 40-20 actually was their closest win of the season. Howells Dodge, believe it or not, this is like your first October spooktacular. Howells Dodge at 4-2, they go to 6-0 Fullerton on Thursday. Can you imagine Howells Dodge with 3 losses? I can't. Another fairly interesting game this week. Hartington Cedar Catholic bounced back from a loss to Battle Creek with a big win over Lutheran High Northeast to the tune of 41-13. Cedar did it by jumping on top early, scored on their first 4 possessions. Ryan Becker, 11 carries, 158 yards. Tristan Steffen caught 4 passes for 154 yards, and a week after throwing 4 interceptions against Battle Creek, quarterback James Kaiser had 4 touchdown passes, throwing for 212 yards in this win over Lutheran High Northeast. Cedar Catholic at 5-2, they're a pretty safe bet for the playoffs. Norfolk Catholic in Class C1 is a lock for the playoffs. Big reason why is their defense. On the season, the Knights have given up 14 points. At least their first unit has given up 14 points through 7 games, including their 51-14 win Friday night over Wayne. Nathan Boyle passing well all year, threw for 183 yards. That 2-headed monster at running back, the Thunder and Lightning, if you want to call him that. David Engelhop, Seth Montag, they had 142 combined yards on 14 carries. That's 10 yards a carry, which they've been doing all year. But that defense is what's going to push Norfolk Catholic into the postseason. Could be challenged a little bit this week. And that's because Norfolk Catholic's making that trip to Pierce. It's never an easy trip for the Knights to make. Pierce has been scoring a lot of points. They scored a lot of points against number 1 Boone Central Newman Grove. They just had trouble stopping the Cardinals earlier in the year. A big difference this year in this game. There's a lot on the line, not necessarily how there has been before where it's number 1 and 2 in the state, but Pierce really needs this win to get into the playoffs. There's a good chance they'll be in with a loss, with 3 losses on the year, but if they win this game, they basically lock in a spot. A win here for Pierce also means that the Blue Jays are less likely to face Norfolk Catholic in the first round of the playoffs. Another team that really needs to win this week is Lutheran High Northeast. That's the team we were talking about earlier. They travel to Atkinson West Holt. Right now, these 2 teams are tied for that final playoff spot. Lutheran High Northeast then has to turn around and go to number 1 Battle Creek. They really need this win because Battle Creek is a tough team. West Holt's also a tough team. Lutheran High loses this game. They're not in good shape for a playoff spot. Class D2, Elkhorn Valley, Osmond, Windside Lions, Decatur Northeast. They're all really close to earning playoff berths, but they got some big games coming up. One of the biggest ones, Elkhorn Valley, they're at Humphrey St. Francis this week. That's a very tough game to win, but if they can rebound from a possible loss there and beat Osceola in their return to 8-man football, they will be playing postseason football, which is pretty darn good considering they've been playing 6-man for the 4 years prior to this one. The 4 years prior to this one, I've been eating vegetables. I've been eating a lot of vegetables because vegetables keep me healthy, much like your mom told you to eat your vegetables, drink your apple juice, drink your orange juice, and say your prayers at night. Don't forget your vitamins, because if you don't take your vitamins, you're going to wake up looking at a little boy who once turned into a Charlie Woodpecker named what? Until next week for The Buzz, I'm Tom Beamer.